Hi there, my name is Blythe of Tulamize Healing. Thank you so much for joining me for this sample mini Biofield Tuning session. Today is January 29th, 2021, and the reason I wanted to provide this mini session is so that people could get a better idea of what it would be like to experience a Biofield Tuning session, to understand it a little bit more, and to see what a recorded or a distant session was like, and to just have that experience. I think it's a great way to find an understanding and see how it resonates with you. So there's a couple of things we need to go over before we start the session. First, please know that this is intended as an introduction session. So don't worry if you don't know much or anything about Biofield Tuning yet, or if you haven't had any other energy healing experiences. That is totally fine. That's what this session is for. Throughout the session, I'll describe things as we go, and really your only job will be to relax, pay attention and observe, and just to breathe. So for the session, I have placed you and anyone else who receives this session in future on my treatment table as an energetic hologram. And you will stay here as an individual in your individual space, and no energies will cross. So through the session, if you notice or feel any sensations or emotions, just observe them and breathe through them. So even in a short session like this, you can experience energetic shifts and movement and releases. But please don't have any expectations for the session for what you should or may not feel. Everyone is different, every session is different, and you may not experience anything at all at the moment. So throughout the session, you'll hear me breathing. And this is when I'm working through areas of noise, stuck energy, any sort of energetic charge. And it's also a good time for you to breathe. Sometimes I'll remind you to breathe also, and you can breathe with big exhales, good size inhales, anything that makes you feel relaxed, keeps you grounded, and helps to move and shift the energy. And please also be aware that Biofield Tuning is a wellness practice and meant to be received by those in relatively good health. So if you have any health concerns at the moment, if you have advanced illness, or if you may be pregnant, please head on over to my website and check the contraindications there. I'll also include it in the email when you receive this download. So I think that's everything. I think we've covered it all. So let's get started. First, let's start with a nice big breath in and just exhale and relax. Great. So maybe just do that one more time. Inhale. And on your exhale, bring your attention to the area around the bottom of your feet, which is where I'll start this session. So at the beginning of each Biofield Tuning session, we generally start with adjusting and grounding the energy around the bottom of our feet, which we call the Earth Star. And we do the same for the area above the crown of our head, our Sun Star. So for this mini session, those are the two areas I'm going to work on. I think that will give you a good initial experience. And I like to think of this as sort of like an energetic stretch. So, you know, if you're laying in bed, or you have just got on the couch, or maybe it's after a savasana, after a yoga class, and you reach your arms over your head and you reach your feet long, and it just feels good, and you feel that stretch where you then have that extra energy and your breath is flowing. That's what I think of this opening protocol for a Biofield Tuning session. So I'll start at the bottom of your feet, closer up between your ankles, which is usually where this Earth Star ends up. It tucks up through just your challenges of everyday life, stress, busyness. If you think of when you feel tense and you sort of pull everything in towards center, that's what's happened to most of our Earth Stars. So for this session, I'm going to just gently guide it down, bring it to its natural place, and just stabilize it there. And then take that opportunity for us to ground as well, so that we're ready for the next part of the session. So here we go. So I'm starting just above your ankles. Just slowly guiding the fork away from your body to below your feet. But it takes a few strikes generally. So I'll stay above your ankle for a little bit. Things are feeling good. The fork is nice and light. Often, not only does the sound change at the fork activation, depending on what we're encountering in the biofield, the area around your body or close to your body, but the fork can feel heavy. It gets almost caught up in like a thick area of energy. It's a little high pitch. Let's just take some nice big breaths. There's a lot going on for a lot of people right now, so collectively it's not surprising that we're pulled up at the Earth Star, feeling some tension, some uncertainty, some stress. So Biofield Tuning is great for this. So make sure you're breathing. This is a great opportunity to send your exhales out the bottom of your feet, out through your tailbone. Just release that charge of energy. So I'm taking my time to guide the fork and the energy down away from your body. And once the activation brings a more clear tone, the energy, you can feel the energy start moving down away from your body. Then I keep the fork moving gradually. So that's what I'm doing now. Moving the fork in increments away from your body. Remembering to breathe. Feeling a little tightness in my throat, in my chest. Often during a session when I do feel those sensations, it can be due to anxiety, tension. So this is when I would always ask the person I'm working with or the group collectively to really amp up your breath. So feel free to use strong exhales, really focus on sending that energy down, the breath out the bottom of your feet. Anything that you don't need can discharge that direction. So our goal here, as I mentioned earlier, is to get to that point where we can feel that energetic stretch, that feel-good stretch where the energy from below our feet is relaxed. It's allowing us to feel more grounded. It's providing that outlet of grounding, which we need so much. So the fork is very high pitched, but I'm just gently guiding it anyways. Sometimes I can assist with this movement, and sometimes it's just like you've hit a wall and you can't move any further. So you have to wait. It takes some patience, it takes some breath. Sometimes you need to address what might be going on with yourself and then just let that go. Release that resistance. Great, that seemed to have helped a little bit actually. Good job. Make sure you're breathing. Nice. Good, sounding so much better now. Fork feels really light, Good. Almost, I want to say it almost feels friendly. So hopefully this is feeling friendly for all of you. I'm really, really glad to have you here with me and to be able to provide this experience. I think learning and having a direct experience of something new is just the best way to introduce to people. Great. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to turn towards your body now so that the end of the fork is pointing up towards the center of your body. Now I'll continue to activate the fork as I'm facing your body. We're going to connect the energy from the fork to you and open up your central channel of energy. So the goal here is to increase the energetic flow like a battery circuit. So we'll increase and stabilize and open the flow from below your feet up through your central channel. And then our goal will be to get that to circle right back down as well once we open up the Earth Star. Okay. Breathe. So you can help with this process with visualization, which is what I'm doing also. It sounds really, really good. And if you visualize the energy coming up from the fork, up through your body, finding no obstacles, so a clear flow is really what we're trying to get. We're trying to allow that energy to be able to circulate in your body, charge up your battery, give you the strength and the health and vitality that you're looking for. So remember to relax. Don't think about this too much. It happens naturally. So take one more deep breath with me. And a nice big exhale. The fork got quite quiet after I was explaining the visual, so I'm trying not to complicate things. So let's try that again. I'll recenter my focus and the intention and just relax. Nothing more for you to think about. There we go, much better. Okay, we're connected. So the next strikes, I will be intentionally trying to ground you, ground myself, ground the room that I'm in, and focus on the Earth Star's option of providing this grounding. This grounding down into the earth is giving you a place to always discharge energy that is not needed. Feel free to do that breathing process where you exhale out the bottom of your feet, exhale out your tailbone. Wow, that sounds great. Great job. Great. I'd say we're good and grounded. So after the session, remember that that's an avenue you can use continually for your grounding breath. If things are getting busy, challenging, you send that breath down into the ground, down into the earth, and give it somewhere to discharge. Okay, now let's move up to above your head. So you don't have to move at all. This is just your hologram. So I have moved up to your holographic top of your head. And I'll do the same process as we did with the Earth Star, but then moving away from the top of your head, the top of the crown of your head. So placing the fork very close to the top of your head, will just be gently guiding this energy away from your head. So often we have a busy mind, we have worries. The fork is very buzzy right now, so we'll take our time. We'll continue to keep those breaths flowing. There we go. And if you're feeling any sensations or if you're noticing anything that's making you uncomfortable, you don't have to stay perfectly still. You can shake your legs, you can move around, you can do whatever your body is telling you to do. But most importantly, try to pay attention to your breath. If you're holding your breath, if you're feeling tension. This practice is a great way to really relax into a balanced state. And please breathe. And sometimes it's difficult to relax. We have a lot of tension, stress, and we don't even notice that we're holding it in our shoulders, in our mind, in our body. Great. Perfect. Okay. Well done. So I'm going to turn to face towards your body the same way I did with your Earth Star. And we'll have a similar process where we'll connect to the top of your head, send that energy, that electric charge down, the electric current down, with the goal of it coming all the way back up and visualizing this nice, strong energy flowing through our body. That sounded nice and calm. You don't need to overthink this. We're just going to relax and the flow will happen naturally. Here we go. Now I'll envision, and you can too, that the sun is coming down through me to you and providing you even more of that wonderful energy that we've got flowing now. Great, nice job. Good job relaxing. Good job joining me in the breathing. I really appreciate it. I hope that you have a moment where you can just integrate what we've done here, observe how you're feeling, and just soak up the energy that we hopefully have now moving throughout your body a little more freely. I hope you enjoyed the session, and a couple things for the end of any biofield tuning session and energy healing work in general. You should drink lots of water today, tomorrow, when I don't know when you're hearing this session, but for a good 24-hour period, really concentrate on hydrotherapy. So get lots of water. If you have the opportunity to swim in the sea or in the ocean, that would be wonderful. But otherwise, you can maybe take a Epsom salt bath, or if you have a shower and you can use a salt scrub, that would be awesome. Or any sort of, if you don't have any salts or scrubs, just have a shower or soak your feet. It's just a great way to neutralize, stabilize, and help with the detox, the water drinking as well. So thank you so much for joining me. Please feel free to get in touch with me if you have any questions. And I hope that I get to meet you again for some more Biofield Tuning sessions.